The princely era in the history of Ukraine, the founding of Kyiv.
Even during the time of Great Scythia, the 7th to the 3rd centuries BCE, the territory of present-day Kyiv region was an extremely important political and economic center of that state. In the area known as Gara, located about 40 days sailing from the mouth of the Dnipro River and situated within modern Kyiv region, the kings of Great Scythia were buried. Hundreds of burial mounds from the early Scythian period have been discovered in the areas around Kyiv and Vasilkiv. Some of the largest fortified settlements of the Scythian era have been found in southern Kyiv region and in Cherkasy region. The scale of defensive earthworks, rich burials, and treasures dating from the 1st century CE indicate that Kyiv region remained an important tribal center during the time of the Ontes, to whom the local tribes belonged. Greek and Roman sources mention the existence of large cities in this region that served as capitals of local tribes. However, there is currently insufficient evidence to conclude that these accounts specifically referred to Kyiv. According to the primary chronicle, 3 princes of the Slavic tribe known as the Polians, Kyi, Shek, and Korev, first established separate fortified settlements on the Kyiv hills and later united them into a single city under the leadership of their elder brother. The information preserved in the chronicle is supported by archaeological, written, and folklore sources. To this day, Kyiv retains the ancient landmarks associated with these events, including Old Kyiv Hill, Shekhavitsia Hill, and Korovitsia Hill. The founding of Kyiv most likely took place after the year 395 CE, when the Roman Empire was permanently divided into its eastern and western parts. It was after this division that the Greek king mentioned in the chronicle, meaning the Byzantine emperor, appeared in history. According to the chronicle, Prince Kyi met this ruler. At the same time, Kyiv must have existed no later than the beginning of the 6th century. Archaeologists have dated the oldest fortifications on Old Kyiv Hill and other Kyiv heights to the middle of the 1st millennium CE. Remains of defensive ramparts from the early 6th century can still be seen on Old Kyiv Hill in Ukraine's capital today. Therefore, if Roman and Hellenistic cities are excluded, Kyiv ranks among the oldest cities in Europe. From ancient times, the fortresses on the Kyiv hills were protected by artificial fortifications built from wooden frameworks filled with earth. Archaeological excavations on Old Kyiv Hill have uncovered remains of such fortifications dating to the 6th and 7th centuries. At the top, these walls featured covered defensive walkways equipped with loopholes for defenders. The outer surfaces were coated with clay to prevent fires and then whitewashed with lime. As a result, the fortresses resembled whitestone strongholds, shining in the sunlight and rising majestically above the surrounding hills. In terms of defensive effectiveness, these walls were nearly as strong as stone fortifications. Projectiles launched from siege engines often became embedded in the wood and earth structures, while stone walls could crack or collapse under similar impacts. The main weakness of such fortifications was their limited durability, which required constant maintenance and repairs. Similar whitestone fortresses crowned the Kyiv hills. Borichiv, Old Kyiv Hill, Dytinka, Korovitsia, and Shekhavitsia. Comparable fortifications also existed in Vishhorod, Rodin at the mouth of the Ros River, Vytychiv, Peryaslav, Bilhorod, modern Bilhorodka near Kyiv, and many other cities. The Kyiv chronicler defended the princely status of Kyi in opposition to a Novgorod chronicler who claimed that Kyi had merely been a ferryman across the Dnipro River. The chronicle states, "Some people, not knowing the truth, say that Kyi was a ferryman near Kyiv. But if Kyi had truly been a ferryman, he would never have traveled to Constantinople. Like many other Ontes princes, Kyi led military campaigns to the Danube region. He most likely acted as an ally of Byzantium, since he was granted an audience with the Byzantine emperor. Scholars suggest that Kyi may have met Emperor Justinian I during the first half of the 6th century. The Byzantine emperors frequently enlisted so-called barbarian peoples, including the Ontes. They granted them land, recognized their rights to territories they already occupied, or maintained alliances through financial support and rewards.
It is known that many Ontes rulers, including Mesamir, also maintained relations with the Byzantine court.
On the Danube, Prince Kyi founded a settlement known as Kyivets. However, he was unable to establish lasting control there and eventually returned to his native Kyiv. According to medieval chronicles, the remains of Kyivets still existed during the 11th and 12th centuries. Today, numerous geographical names resembling Ukrainian place names can be found in Bulgaria, Serbia, Croatia, and North Macedonia. These similarities are often associated with the migration of Slavic populations from the territory of present-day Ukraine to the Balkans. A Bulgarian village called Kyovo still exists along the Danube. Serbia has a settlement named Kyiv, 2 settlements called Kyivets, and several villages known as Chieni. Other place names found in Serbia and Croatia include Zajdomir, Malin, Barashi, Radikai, Sambor, Rahotin, Verkhovina, Bilici, and many others. These toponyms serve as reminders of the migration of Slavic peoples that took place nearly 15 centuries ago. Information about the founding of Kyiv also appears in the writings of the ancient Armenian historian Zenobglak. In the 7th century, he described 3 brothers, Quar, Melti, and Korian, who, much like Kyi, Shek, and Korev, initially established separate settlements on different hills and later united them under the authority of the eldest brother. According to Armenian tradition, these events took place in the region of Palyuni, which is associated with the land of the Polians. 5 centuries later, in the 11th century, Kyiv had become one of the largest cities in Europe. According to various estimates, its population ranged from 50,000 to 150,000 people. In terms of population, Kyiv greatly surpassed contemporary Rome, London, and Paris, each of which had only about 20,000 inhabitants. Among the cities known to Europeans at that time, only Constantinople was larger. When Varangian travelers arrived in Rus, they were astonished by the large number of cities and fortresses and referred to these lands as the Land of Cities. The chronicler also preserved a legend according to which the Apostle Andrew visited the site of the future city long before Kyiv was founded. Looking at the hills, he reportedly said to his disciples, "Do you see these hills? Upon these hills the grace of God shall shine. A great city shall arise here, and God will build many churches in this place." The first rulers of Kyiv, Kyi, Shek, Korev, and their sister Libed occupy a special place in Ukrainian history. They are remembered as the founders of Ukraine's capital city. Kyiv emerged through the unity of brothers. Unlike the legend of Rome, where Romulus killed his brother Remus, Prince Kyi did not fight against his brothers but joined forces with them. Shek and Korev likewise did not struggle for power, instead, they worked together with their elder brother to build a common city. 15 centuries have passed, yet the capital of a great nation still bears the name of its founder, while dozens of mighty empires have risen and disappeared during that same period. The first princes of Kyiv left an important lesson for future generations. Only through unity can a people become masters of their own destiny and shape their own history. Dear lovers of Ukrainian history, if you liked this video, then like it, subscribe to the channel, share this interesting information with everyone who is interested in Ukrainian true history, which has lasted for thousands of years. I will be very grateful to you for this. So I wish everyone a good day or evening. See you soon. All the best to you, friends, and see you in the next chapter.